Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivz here, Quivz Does stuff. Today we're going to be looking at a new game. Well, not new, but new for my channel. Starbound by Chucklefish. It's actually kind of an old game. I don't remember how old, but I bought it in early access a long time ago. Now there is one thing I will talk about before we go any further, and that is the developer in this case, and publisher. But I'm going to be talking about them as a publisher. No, in fact, I'm going to be talking about them as a developer. So Chucklefish did once get in a bit of trouble. They had a lot of problems with previous games that they published as a result of this. When Starbound was in development, a lot of people donated content. They gave content to Starbound development, and they were never paid for this. Chucklefish stated that they were under no obligation to donate to do anything for Starbound. I don't know whether these were actually work experience people or anything like that. I don't think so. I think they were just people who liked the idea of the game and sent Chucklefish stuff to put in the game, and that stuff was used in game, and they were never remunerated, never given any pay for that work. I don't know how you feel about that. It is a morally ambiguous thing, I guess. I'm brought to mind, there's an episode of Boston Legal in which Alan Shaw says to Mr. Mkebe that were he Mr. Mkebe, he would flee the jurisdiction, but that as a lawyer he couldn't tell him to do so, which is a morally ambiguous thing to do. But legally he covered his own ass and didn't say that he should do so. He only said that if he were in that man's shoes, he would do it himself. But he didn't tell the man to do it. So in the case of Chucklefish never had any contracts with these people to pay them. Therefore, they didn't have to pay them. So it might be morally not the right thing to do, but legally totally fine. So you think of that what you will. They made Starbound. I have no idea whether any of those assets or things or code that those people worked on is still in the game. I believe it was during the early access period, and we've moved pretty far away from what the game even was during those periods. It's not really the same game anymore. But yeah, you think of that what you will. I will also point out Chucklefish used to publish Stardew Valley for most platforms. They are still the publisher for Android and iOS, but Concerned Ape no longer uses them as the publisher for any of his other platforms, macOS, Windows, Linux. I don't know what else it's available on. I think Nintendo Switch, PS4 and Xbox One? Not 100%. But they are only the publisher now for the iOS and Android versions. Chucklefish no longer publishes the rest of Stardew Valley for the other platforms. Anyway, so with all of that out of the way, it's a bit of a downer of a place to start, but there's a lot of people that in some ways boycott this game for the very reasons that I've spoken about. Henceforth, I didn't feel that I couldn't talk about it. I would hate to have been one of those people to have worked on this game and to not have been paid. I don't even know if they're acknowledged. Perhaps they're acknowledged. I might have accepted that and been like, okay, yes, fair enough. I didn't have a contract with you. I didn't have to do it, but I did. You could at least give me a thanks in the credits or something. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the credits. Anyway, all of that out of the way, let's start a game. I'm going to start a new game. I'm also going to skip the tutorial because the tutorial is long and boring-ish. It's not really a tutorial, it's like an intro mission, but it is a tutorial. Alright, so you get all these races. They do have some advantages and disadvantages depending on who you choose. Like the bird ones get an ever so slightly increase in jump height, but it's hardly enough to make a difference. It just is a little bit higher, that's all. The robots have a slight disadvantage in that they can only eat robotic stuff. So to keep their nutrition up, you actually have to find robot food, which I think can be quite hard. I think the Nova Kids have extra energy, which is used on ranged weapons. That'll make more sense once into the game. But yeah, there's all sorts of people. I think the Xylotl, maybe they don't have to breathe underwater. I'm not sure. I don't really remember what all the things are. Does it say in here? No, it doesn't really say in here. But anyway, yeah, so you can choose whatever and you get all sorts of stuff. I've always kind of liked the plant people. The Nova Kids look coolest. The bird people also look pretty cool. And then there's generic human, which looks very much genetic human. Can only randomize within a race. I can't randomize within a thing. Alright, well, let's randomize within a race. I'm going to go plant person. Random. Oh, wow. That one looks Super Saiyan as. We'll go with that one. The name is China, apparently. Oh, well, and we'll skip the intro mission. Right. Now, this game is somewhat Terraria-like. Alright, so this is where you start. This is your ship. Your ship is messed up and broken. You've just escaped Earth? Possibly? I don't know. Somewhere there's some protectorate. A bit like the Federation in Star Trek. And yeah, so there's some stuff here that I'm going to take because it's useful. I've got a weapon. Right, so that's your energy. So to use your special ability, which for this sword is to basically just slash it around in all directions, costs energy. And that's the green bar here. The red one is my health and the yellow one is my hunger. I did pick up a bit of food, so that's handy. Your quick bars up the top, they have a left hand and a right-handed slot, but this is a two-handed weapon, so it takes up both slots. This flashlight only takes up one slot, so I can put another one in there. These torches can be placed on backgrounds a la Terraria. So yeah, you'll see that there's some similarities to Terraria, which I will show you eventually. Right, so we'll start by beaming down to this planet. And like most games... Oh, sleeping bag right nearby. That's kind of good. Also a potato here, or a potato seed. I'll definitely grab that because that will come in handy later. Right. Like most games, you start by... Well, wood is your first sort of thing. But unlike most games, you don't punch wood because you have this thing called a matter manipulator, which you will be upgrading over the course of the game to make it stronger in different ways. Make it harvest things faster, make it harvest a greater area. At the moment, its maximum area is 2x2. So this, you can reduce it to a 1x1 by holding the shift key as a modifier. You can sort of just barely see the blue outline, I hope. But yeah, we'll start off with grabbing some wood, which will allow us to make the very first of our crafting stations, and then we'll progress from there. Now, again, I've played this game before, so I know some things about it. This is not going to be a comprehensive tutorial. It's more of a look at the game, so I'll show you. I won't explain too much about why things work the way they do. I will just do them because I know that that's the best way to do things. So It's better to keep your crafting stations on your ship because your ship is sort of a central hub. No matter where you go, your ship is always there. Right, so crafting menu. I can now make a campfire, which, yes, I will because that's useful enough. We'll go here. It's placeable, so it'll turn up here. I can place it directly from my inventory. Let's just do that. Can move these windows around, which is convenient, but as long as this game's been around, it still doesn't save window positions. Like it does during this play session, but the next time I start up, that inventory window will be right here in the center, blocking my view again. Very annoying. Anyway, same thing with the crafting window, but the crafting window's not so bad. Right, timber, so I can turn logs, hover over it, shows you what the ingredients are, logs into timber, make a few of those. You can set numbers, and then I will make an inventor's table, which is the first crafting station. Takes time. Depending on the difficulty of the recipe, changes how long it takes. Right, and we'll find space enough to plant this down. Then within that, you'll find there are more tables you can make. So we'll make a foraging table because we can make that one already. But the others have some ingredients that I don't have yet, so we'll get to those eventually. And a foraging table isn't even going to do me much good right now because I don't have any of the ingredients to make any of the things on it. But that's okay. Those are our first few things. Right. You do get 2 quick bars. X switches between them conveniently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. R takes you directly to your matter manipulator. And N takes you directly to your inspection tool, which doesn't work properly yet because the game hasn't tutorialized at you enough to explain the use of the inspection tool, and henceforth it doesn't actually work properly. Alright, back down we go. Alright, now I'm definitely going to need some of this, and I kind of want to start flattening this area out anyway. So we'll grab a bit of this. So, left click with the matter manipulator does the foreground. Right click does the background. When placing, the same rules apply. Left click will place blocks on the foreground, right click will place blocks on the background. Unlike Terraria, it's not 2 different block types, it's 1 block type, and you can place it on either foreground or background. You don't have to make a background specific block. A relatively intuitive system compared to the Terraria one, which when I first started playing without the help of wikis, I was rather confused about that. I didn't really understand. Okay, so we'll grab a bit of this, we'll grab a bit of soil. I'm going to want the soil rather than the stone, although the stone has its uses. Which I will demonstrate at a later point. I want that to be a little bit lower than that. Why am I making this flat bit? Because I am OCD and can't look at it. There's absolutely no reason to do it except for the fact that I'm OCD. Can't get up there, so I'll get rid of this so I can. And then I'll just dig some of this out because I need some, not for any other reason. Now, one of the placeables I got earlier was actually placeable plant seedlings so that you can regrow the trees, which we will be doing momentarily. They can only grow in soil, you can't grow them on stone. So that's why I'm actually harvesting a decent chunk of soil now so that I can place soil to place the tree saplings on in the area that I landed. So when you beam down to a planet, you always beam down to the same spot. Your beam down point is always the same. You can create, and I will hopefully, maybe not in the course of this playthrough, but we'll see. You can create... Oh, it didn't turn up here. It should have. Or at least I thought it would have. You can create teleporters later. Well, buy teleporters, not really create as such. There, that'll do. And then on this dirt, I can then go to placeables, and these are the tree saplings, and I can place them right next to each other if I want to, that they still grow. Get rid of all of them, because why not? Get some food. My food has dropped to half already. It is quite fast, the loss of food, but anyway. Alright, now we didn't get any mud. It would be nice to find some mud. This, I've already forgotten his name. He will tutorialize, help you tutorialize, also give you missions. So now I've got to find the archaic energy source. And this is a compass. It actually shows you directionality in a 360 sort of radius. I think this thing walking around here is aggressive. Yes, he's coming to get me. Everything has different attack patterns. When the game first sort of launched in early access, all the monsters were entirely random, so they were made up of random components. Whereas now the game has decided to move in another direction, and they're not so random anymore. The monsters are actually sort of predefined. So you can sort of tell what it is you're going to be fighting by what they look like. So yeah, moved away from its early access roots where the monsters were much more random. Alright, off you go then. Run that way if you want. Okay, now I'm almost dead. So when you're dead, you drop everything in your inventory, except I believe what you're holding in your hand, so what's on your quick bars. Or no, just what's on your primary quick bar. Your secondary quick bar, you still drop. And even some of the things on your quick bars you will still drop. So for example, these seeds, I won't be able to keep those. They'll get dropped. I will drop the torches. I will drop other placeables like soil and so on and so forth. I need this mud. That's why we came over here. Because I need some of this to create certain crafting tables. Yes. Your character is 4 blocks by 2 blocks in size, just for reference. It helps to know that. This you can just barely make out. It's a bit dark, so I'll shine some light on it. Not that that helps much. But these two here on this foreground tiles, those are actually iron ore. So I'm going to grab a couple of those because you need ore. It's part of the game. Like most survival games, there are crafting mechanics and there's an ore mechanic. Now, you can actually get health back by sleeping, and luckily someone's left a sleeping bag here, which is kind of handy. You can also cook things on a fire. You can make very simple recipes. Later on, you will develop much more enhanced crafting tables. It does take a long time using sleeping. You can develop, there are simple health restorative items that you can either get through loot from killing monsters, or in chests, or in boxes, or assorted loot containers, or you can make them using materials that I haven't yet managed to actually gather. Alright, now that'll do. We'll walk back up and make some more crafting stations. Let's see what we have the ingredients for. We now have the ingredients for a wooden workbench. Not heaps useful at this point of the game. It's actually designed for building settlements. So later in the game, you will actually build houses to house NPCs, much like Terraria. However, unlike Terraria, in this case, your NPCs, while they also need to be kept happy, in the case of Starbound, those NPCs actually pay you rent, unlike the freeloaders you get in Terraria. Alright, so boiled pearl peas. Not the most amazing food, but It is some food, so we'll make it. Same thing with rice, not the most amazing food, but we'll make it. We'll switch over to this bar. So there it turns up in your inventory. We will use our canned food first. So you get a small amount of food from storage in your ship at the beginning of the game, just to get you through the sort of intro sections. But yeah, it becomes, once you've used the 4, that's it, they're gone. I don't think you can ever make canned food again, but I could be wrong. This is the piloting area of the ship. This is the fuel section. Can't use it yet because the ship is broken, and you can't pilot because the navigation is offline because the ship is broken. This entire first bit is actually to fix the ship. Right, so in here you'll find I can make things like doors and beds and lights and general stuff for houses to make people more comfortable in houses, none of which I need at the moment because I'm very far away from making tenants. This is farming stuff and hunting stuff. Could make hunting spears, but it's just not, they're not very good. But monsters don't drop, they normally drop pixels, which is money, by default. But if you kill a monster with a hunting item, then you can get the monster to drop hunting materials like leather and meat and so on and so forth. There is a small percentage chance that even with a regular non-hunting weapon, they will still drop a hunting material. And these are just things like lanterns and lights and stuff like that. Alright, now what else do I need to make other things? What about a primitive furnace? I needed a furnace. Oh, I don't have a campfire. So I have to make a spare campfire. Done. And then by using this, I can now make a furnace. Takes a little while, but eventually, kablam, furnace. Oh, should have turned up there, it didn't, doesn't matter. I'll place that there. And now I can use my iron ore to make iron bar. So 2 to a bar. It's a pretty reasonable exchange rate. It's not so bad as other things. Could also make paper, but there's nothing that I can do with sheets of paper or anything at the moment, so I won't worry about any of these. But yeah, there are a few more things that you can make in the basic furnace. So the next thing I'm really going to need is a spinning wheel. Is going to be pretty easy to make. I will get to that soon, but I need to be able to make rope, for which I need plant fiber. I haven't found any of that. And an anvil, I need 8 iron bars. I have 1. Now I'm going to store some of this stuff in the ship storage because I don't want to lose it. So there, sharpened claw, that's a crafting material. You normally get that from hunting monsters. Even though I don't have a hunting weapon, I got lucky and 1 dropped. I'm not so worried about dropping any of this because it doesn't really matter too much. I will leave the seeds here because they're kind of useful. Right, back down to the planet. We'll explore a little bit more and a little bit further. I'm going to do something else weird. I'm going to take this bed with me because I currently don't actually have... I'm trying to get the bed, not the tree. I don't have anything else to... see these trees have grown? Handy that. I don't have anything else to heal with. So having that and being able to place it down somewhere so that I can rest is going to come in handy. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start digging downwards. Now you don't normally do this immediately on the first planet. Should also have done something else. Let's craft a bit more timber. And then wooden platforms. I need wooden platforms. Oh, you need plant fiber to make wooden platforms. I was entirely unaware of that. I normally have so much plant fiber. Right, okay, well in that case we're actually going to dig sideways, not straight down. Because I need to go over there to that underground bit. So plant fiber, the easiest way to get it is... oh, you can see because of the rain, this is actually filling up with water. The easiest way to get plant fiber is in caves. It hangs as vines from the ceiling of any sort of underground area. It's quite ubiquitous. It's really easy to find. I just didn't know that you actually needed it to make platforms. Platforms are like the platforms in Terraria. They serve the same purpose. They are a floor that you can stand on, but that you can also pass through by jumping up through it or dropping down through it. Right, now it's very dark, so I will place a torch. There we go. Oh, look. And this is copper ore down here, so I will mine that out because ore is ore and it's worth having as much ore as you can get your hands on. Oh, now I can't get out of the hole, so I'll have to dig my way out. Right, and now you can see, just barely, that copper ore has appeared here on the background plate as well, so that is also possible in Starbound. Also, when I dig through the background plate, it's like Terraria. At certain heights, you actually go straight through to the parallax background, although I don't believe it's parallax. No, that's parallax. Yeah, below a certain depth, that stops happening. So there is my first plant fibre. Very little of it, but that's some plant fibre, which I will now use to craft wooden platforms, because they are the other most important thing that I use all the time in this game. Torches and wooden platforms. Right, so let's fix our inventory a little bit here. Get rid of the logs, because we don't need that on my quick bar. I normally put a hunting item there, healing items there, then torches here and platforms there. So we'll do that again because that is the best way to do it. So platforms end up there, torches end up there. Do I have any... No, I don't have any plant fibre left. If I had some plant fibre left, I could craft some basic healing salves, which is the first healing item you get. Right, I want to have a proper descent here. So normally for descent, and this is the only reason I was descending, was actually to go looking for plant fibre and ores, but I didn't find much. So we'll have to go again and see if I can find another cave to go through. I also need coal, because you need coal to make torches, in very much a Minecraft-esque manner. What do you need to make torches in Terraria? I can't actually remember off the top of my head. That's kind of weird, considering how much I've played that game. Anyway. What the hell are torches in Terraria? It's just wood, isn't it? I really don't remember. That's really weird. Anyway. Right, so we'll keep descending little bit by little bit, placing the occasional torch so I can see. Hopefully run into another cave again soon, and then we'll explore that cave looking for ores, coal. There's a little bit of more iron ore right there. So we will go into that little bit of wall. So certain things underground do have a natural glow. In this case, this is actually a bonus pickup thing. Things shaped like that that don't spin and don't have a base will just give you pixels. So they can be destroyed by hitting them or using the meta manipulator to destroy them. And yeah, they can be picked up to grow on pixels. There, I've just knocked some plant fibre off the ceiling of this cave. Yeah, there we go. Now we can get into this cave. Handy. It's about that height, isn't it? No, it should have been that height. Not that it matters heaps. Alright, this is coal, the black stuff. So we'll grab some of that so we can make more torches. He will tutorialize me about that. I will definitely grab lots more of this plant fibre because you need heaps of it. Right, now these bonuses can drop all sorts of things. They can also be bad. In this case, it's dropped a crap load of pixels. Don't think I've seen that one before, but yeah, they can drop good things and bad things. You never know what's going to come out of them. So it's always a good idea when you activate one to back up just in case it drops something really bad. Like bombs, or just sets the place on fire, or I can't think of what else it can do. But it can do other things, and they aren't always good. Alright, I'm now out of torches, so I'll need to make more. Luckily I've got a bit of coal, so I can make a few. So we'll max that out. Now each coal makes 4 torches, so I had enough to make 8 total. too shabby, not great either. Hopefully find some more coal. That was quick. Yeah, coal is a extremely valuable resource in this game. You just need lots of it. Right, go this way first because I also need more plant fiber. Now, I do have a torch. Where is my torch? Should be in equipment. So if I put that anywhere on my quick bar, I can use it like a torch. But later on, so long as you have a torch, it will actually be attached to the inspection tool. So you can quickly flick to your inspection tool to use your torch. But again, it's not working currently because the game is busy tutorializing at me. I don't know what's down there. Let's put it light. Okay, that's safe. So these are the easier bonus ones. You can't click on them. That does nothing. You just have to break them with a weapon or the matter manipulator. And they almost always drop pixels, although they will occasionally drop other things as well. Rope, the occasional healing item. I don't actually know what else, but yes, they will occasionally drop other things. Alright, so I've got a bit of ore, but it's mostly copper. I need a lot. So I need 8 total iron bars to make a anvil, or a workbenchy thing. Now I don't know if this creature is aggressive. Not every creature in the game is, so you don't have to kill everything. You can kill every creature, but you don't have to kill every creature. I happen to know that this guy coming towards me is aggressive, but, you know, he's also a weakling, so... Bit more coal. Let's have a look a bit this way, too, just in case. There is fall damage in the game. You can fall too far and get seriously hurt. You get a reasonable distance, but yeah, it's not massive before it starts penalizing you for dropping down holes. Right, I believe we have enough. So now we can make some salve. Salve will also help, so we'll craft ourselves just a few healing items. So yeah, some things will automatically populate to your quick bar, other things won't. I don't know what governs that. Oh, they'll populate to your quick bar if there's an empty slot, I should say. If you have quick bar slots that aren't already occupied by things. Yeah, so this early in the game you'll pick up a lot of coal because you need coal, and later in the game you will ignore coal because you don't need coal. Just one of the sort of parts of playing Starbound. Right, I want to go up here rather than down there at the moment, and we're out of torches again, so I have to craft more, but now I can craft a lot of torches. And I'm going to, because I use torches that much that having a lot of them. Oops. So if you close your crafting thing, it cancels crafting. So you do actually have to wait for it to finish. Right click to clear the quick bar slot. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to tutorialize at you. I'm still tutorializing a little bit. Perhaps someone is watching this Let's Play and will be moved to play the game while I haven't completely tutorialized at you. I might give you enough tips to at least get started. Some of the basic gameplay hints and tips and, you know, things of that nature. Lots more coal here. I will grab some of this, but not all of it. I'm doing pretty well on torches now. Oh no, I might grab all of it, because while I'm doing pretty well on torches, I will eventually run out of torches, and then I'm going to wish I had more coal. So we'll do it while we're here. Right. Like Minecraft, it is possible to harvest things piecemeal by doing the jump up and down. You will still over time do enough damage to the thing that you're jumping up and down underneath to eventually cause it to break. And in the case of these vines, fall from the ceiling. Yep, that guy fell down a hole, so now I don't have to think about him. Here's some more iron on the back wall. Very hard to spot iron on the back wall, but you know, it does appear there, and occasionally you're good enough to see it. Alright, that's a blind tunnel. It's not an entirely blind tunnel. Ah, there, see, that one's dropped something else. In this case, a flare. I don't think I've ever even used a flare. I don't even know how they work. What do flares do? Oh, okay, that. Not bad. Useful. Man, there's a lot of ore down there. I'm going to light it with proper lights, though, because I assume the flare runs out. I don't actually know. There is also drowning, so you can drown underwater if the water is deep enough. I haven't actually encountered any water deep enough yet, but it is a thing. But yeah, you have to eat, unlike Terraria where eating just gives you buffs. In this game, the survival component of having to eat is part of the game. There is a casual version where you don't have to eat, and a hardcore version where you only get one life. At least I think it's only one life. But yeah, I've neither played the hardcore version or the casual version, so I can't speak any more to those particular game modes. However they exist, they are there. Oops, I really don't want to fall down that hole because that could go on forever. Oh no, it doesn't. It's pretty short. Okay, that's fine then. Probably got enough plant fibre to be getting on with just for the next bit here. And we'll do a bit more exploring. Again, don't know if this guy's aggressive. Nope, he's not. Good. So the skull camels. Looks like a camel with a skull instead of a regular head. Aha! Now I'm finding made objects underground. Always a good sign. So here we are, a copper pickaxe. Now, the matter manipulator works at a set rate and can be upgraded with upgrades later. But you can also get tools, and these tools, like the copper pickaxe, copper pickaxe is a digging material, and it digs in a 3x3 and does so at a pretty fast rate, depending on the material. It makes a difference what the material is. But yeah, you'll find these around the place. You'll be able to make your own later. I tend not to, but they have a durability and they wear out eventually. So I tend to find them and then use them as soon as I find them, and use them up, because there's no point not using them up. Oh, I'm not going to get up there, and I might fall down the hole if I screw that up. But there's ground down there, so that's not so bad. Alright, is there anything up here? I don't think there is, but let's have a closer look. Can go this way, so let's go this way. Right, and that just brings me back to here. They do still work on the background as well. Right, so that is... The beeping is the indicator that I'm hungry. So I drop down very low. The what's-his-face tutorial guy, AI, is giving me an indication that that is the case. I will then switch my quick bars, go into here, go to my food panel, eat another tinned meal, because why not? I didn't go all the way to full there, came close. So I'm going to top off with a bit of boiled rice. And then get back to regular parts of the game. Right, see, he dropped a living root, which is another normally hunting item, so you normally need to use a hunting weapon to get that out of this particular monster. But like I said, you can occasionally get a random lucky drop, and they'll drop there what would normally be a hunting only item. I'm not finding much in the way of iron. I don't actually know how much I've got though. Might actually already have enough to go back up. Now, you can't beam up when underground. If the background layer is... If you're standing behind a background layer, you can't beam up. In this case, I can actually clear the background layer, and now I can beam up. When you get down to lower levels, if the background layer doesn't actually go to the rear parallax layer of the game, I'll try to get low enough and show you in a bit, you also can't beam up. So you'll have to actually approach the surface, get higher up before you can beam up. I do just want to have a quick look up here, in case there's iron that I'm missing. There's no iron, but there is one more copper, so I'll grab that one more copper and any pixels and things that I get out of these. And then I will go back here because I've made a little spot where I can beam up and beam up. Right. Cook any food that I've got. No, I haven't got any more food to cook. I should be able to make... I want to make an anvil, but I don't know whether I have enough iron bars. 7, just enough. We'll make all my copper bars as well. Wow, I've got lots of those. Right, so we'll go in here, we'll grab that extra iron bar that I had. Go on here, and I should be able to make an anvil. It's actually like an anvil slash workbench kind of thing. I'm running out of space to put stuff in my ship. So I'll get rid of the door, because the door is just a placeable. Just happens to be just a placeable. Kind of cool, that. Where did that anvil go? Why do I not have an anvil? Did I not finish making the anvil? Must have jumped out of it before I finished actually making the anvil. There we go. Now I've made an anvil. Can place it here next to the AI. Sail, that's his name. Ship-based artificial intelligence lattice. Definitely one of those anagrams. Is that the word? Anagram? Definitely one of those anagrams where they came up with the anagram first and then worked backwards from there. Right, so in here, this is where you make your armor. You can make some basic weapons. They go up in tiers. There's also breathing apparatus, because there will be planets that don't have breathable air. Yeah, so the first tier is copper? No, the first tier is iron. So, okay, I don't have any use for... Not on this anvil for all that copper that I've got. But there is a place where I can use some copper, and that is on the foraging table where I can make a hoe. So I need string, which means I still need to make a spinning wheel. Now I can make a spinning wheel, because I can make rope. So I need one rope. I've never used rope. I don't actually know how it works. It's probably very similar to Terraria. I've never used rope in Terraria either. I don't know why. I just never, ever used rope. Just don't do it. It's probably silly, but I never get around to it. We don't have enough wood to make timber, logs to make timber. We ran out of wood. So we'll have to beam down and chop down some wood. Luckily we planted a whole bunch of trees before. So it is easy enough to demolish said trees. Takes a bit of time. It is possible that I'm actually mistaken and that this bit of rock here is preventing these two trees from growing, but I don't know, and I'm not going to bother doing anything about it. I'm just going to keep replanting trees here, because I'll just keep replanting trees here. That will be fine. 'Twill suffice. But shortly I'm going to start farming as well. So I'm going to also flatten out the terrain in the other direction from my sort of downwards tunnel. And I'll show you that in a minute. But this is more than enough space for trees. You don't need that many trees, but yeah, it is a good idea to replant some trees, because you do need wood to make torches at the very least, and to make platforms as well. Right, so let's see now. Do want to fill that in just because. Let's fill these in just because. Whoops, didn't want to go that high. I'll get rid of that. Now the background layer doesn't actually matter, it just annoys me. Like I said, my OCD sees it and goes, it shouldn't be like that. Alright, so now it's nighttime, so I'm going to run into birds that want to attack me. Flying things that want to attack me. Normally during the day, nothing flying wants to attack you on the beginning planets. The easy, gentle planets of the game. Planets do go up in difficulty as you progress further into the game. But at night, most of the bird things want to kill you. So, yeah, you'll have to deal with that. It's an extra campfire that I got for free. I'm going to leave that down here just because. Because why not? But yeah, I want some flat ground because I'm going to be doing some farming down here in a bit. And it's got to be earth, not stone, because stone's not going to help me. And we'll clear the trees away as well. Plunk this campfire down because it is a minor light source, which, you know, has its advantages. It's not necessary, but it has its advantages. It helps, makes things easier to see. So we'll pop that there. We'll get rid of these bits of stone here. This bird's going to try and attack me. Right. Fill that in. And this will be a decent area where I can do some farming shortly. Right. We've got the wood that we came down here to get, so now we need to make a spinning wheel, which requires even more timber, so I need to make more timber. That ought to do it. And yes, now we can craft a spinning wheel. I don't know if I've got enough space in the ship to place the spinning wheel. That's going to be a bit of a problem. We will pick up this and see if I can fit... Oh, I didn't wait long enough for the damn spinning wheel to finish, did I? Better. Does it fit in there? It does, good. Okay. So it fits in there, and the campfire will fit here, so that's better. Alright, now I need one string. And then what did I need that for? That was to make a hoe. A hoe. Need one more timber as well, so we'll craft a little bit more timber. Make a hoe. I'm also going to need a watering can, and I can only make a wooden one at the moment, so I need 30 total, which is 6. Yep. Make a wooden watering can. Right, and then we will put those things on this quick bar. This is normally where I keep my alternate things, alternate devices. Watered can, that is normally the first ones. At the very end of it, I will have dirt, because you just sometimes need to be able to place a block. Right, that'll do for now. I'll go back in here. I will grab these seeds. Oops. Go away. Beam down again. Now, beaming down you can just do, there's like you can do it from the little teleporter thing on the ship, or you can just beam down using this button. It's beam up when I'm not in the ship and beam down when I am in the ship. Right, so to do farming, you have to take out the hoe, till the earth. Pretty basic stuff, really. You can then plant seeds, which show up under the food tab and take up a slot, annoyingly, but oh well, they do. Now, some things when harvested, or some things when planted, will grow a plant that will produce food continuously. Other things will actually produce food and a new seed and will be uprooted when you harvest them. So like potatoes, you get 1 to 2 potatoes and a potato seed, and it destroys the potato plant. Wheat, I believe, is the same, but pearl peas and rice don't. Pearl peas and rice give you pearl peas and the plant remains, and you just have to wait for it to grow again. Now, nothing will grow if you don't water it, and the soil changes colour to let you know that it's been watered. Rain will also water the earth for you, and later in the game you can produce sprinklers that will water the ground for you continuously. Right, so that is the basics of farming. I should also have enough, I think, to make my first hunting weapon. Yes. So I just need another string and some more timber. So one more string. One more timber. Well, not one more, some more timber. Let's just make a bunch. Should be enough. And you can get your first ranged weapon. Possibly your first ranged weapon. It's the first one I've got. The hunting bow. It won't always be the first ranged weapon. Your first ranged weapon may in fact be a gun or something that you just pick up as loot. But in my case, it was the first ranged weapon. Alright, yes, they can stay there. Right, now to use these, you hold down the left mouse button and you draw further back. You can aim wherever you like and then release. Now you'll notice that as I draw back, the bow flashes. If you release right at that flash, you get a super arrow. Yeah, drawing the bow takes energy. Well, releasing the arrow takes some energy. You'll notice that when you release the arrow, the energy bar turns blue for a moment. That means it cannot recharge while it's not in green. It can recharge while you have an arrow drawn, but if you shoot fast enough, you'll run out of energy and now you can't do anything until it recharges. Okay. Let's go back down. We'll go back underground. We're going to need a lot more iron ore. Right, so there is fall damage. If you want to fall through lots of levels of platforms, you can... Okay, in this game you actually hold down to crouch and then press space to drop through a level. But if you continue to hold down, so for example I can go through these 2 platforms by just continuing to hold down after I've pressed space. So you have to be careful of that because you can actually drop far enough to hurt yourself seriously in this game. Not something that happens in all games that have the platform mechanic. The 2D platformers with the... Well, yeah, platform mechanic. I mean, that's what it is. It's a mechanic around platforms. I think every game I've come across that have these mechanics, they're called platforms. They're not called shelves or anything else that I've ever come across. Right, so I'm going to keep digging down. Even though I could explore more left or right, the percentage chance of actually finding iron ore actually increases the deeper you go. You'll also start to find other ores like silver. Not very useful silver. I don't actually know what else it's for. I don't think there's silver armor. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've played this game. Right, so now I will demonstrate how you can hurt a monster. Change to your hunting bow. And then, okay, I didn't get anything that time, which is disappointing, but how you can use the hunting bow to finish a monster off. And normally when you finish a monster off with a hunting weapon, you will get hunting materials from said monster. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Trying to keep my spacing uniform. And you can actually dig a couple of blocks further than you can place blocks. I don't know why that is. Later on, with the upgrades to the matter manipulator, that'll be even further. Then you can, much further than you can place blocks. At the moment it's just a little bit further. We'll explore this because this looks, I don't know, suspiciously like it should lead to something. Alright, that in the background is a fossil. Without special fossil tools, you will get bones when you destroy it. But later in the game, you will get specialized tools and you can harvest them for fossils. I believe fossils are worth a reasonable amount of money, but other than that, they are just decorative items. So, yeah, it's up to you whether you really give a damn or not. It is one of those things added to the game that makes the game interesting without really doing anything for you. I would say it's an Animal Crossing-esque thing. Right, there is some silver up there. That is silver ore for sure on the background layer. Let's put a torch out here so we can see. Nothing else much here, but I'll grab this silver ore because it's silver ore. And just one iron ore there. Some more coal up there as well, but we can get by without that. Right, so now you see the background layer is vanished, but even though I'm in the background layer, you can't see through to the outside world. It's a cave picture back there, and henceforth I cannot use the beam up utility. I also can't place torches there because there's nothing to stick it to. Can, however, stick torches to the ground. Alright, so down here there's also a bit more silver ore, so I'll just dig down to it because it's quick and easy anyway. And while I'm down here, let's just check, was this a empty void? No, it does just go back to this, which is fine. Grab that few iron ore there because we need lots. A couple more iron ore there. Right, fully underwater, there's your breath meter. You get a fair amount of time. There are planets that are oceanic planets. They basically have no land or just a few islands. They're almost entirely ocean. Right, that's about as much exploring in this direction as I want to do. Ah, this guy's an interesting enemy. That's his main attack. He tucks his head in and runs at you. Problem is, he doesn't realise when he's missed you and turn around and come back. Anyway. Yep. Now, he's actually 3 tiny monsters in a coat. So once you beat his first thing, he turns into these 3 things. And then I will beat these things with the bow on the off chance that they drop me something good, and not one of them dropped me anything. So that's disappointing because it fails to demonstrate the hunting mechanic yet again. You do also get these background critters, some sort of tortoise. It can actually be hurt and destroyed, but yeah, it doesn't give you anything. These respawn periodically, these bonus. And that time it poisoned me, so now I am poisoned and I'm going to steadily lose health. Can counter it with a salve so that I don't die. And I'm hungry, so I also need to stop to eat. More canned food. And another boiled rice. And since he's stuck in this hole, we will take advantage of that and try and kill him without falling in the hole, but of course I'm incompetent and I just fall in the hole. There we go. Nope, still didn't drop anything. Making it difficult to prove this hunting mechanic that I was trying to explain, but oh well. Right, that's a nice big hole. You definitely don't want to fall down that. I do kind of want that silver though. So what I will do is I will place very carefully something to stand on. Harvest the silver out of the wall. And we will descend into the dark because why not? Being careful not to accidentally drop 2 levels. Yep, some copper over there, but copper's not heaps useful, so I'll let that go. So I don't know if this fall was enough to kill us, but it might have hurt a lot. Right, they can't get me here, so I can shoot them from up here. still nothing. Better hunting weapons give you a better chance of getting something from a hunting weapon. I just appear to be unlucky and haven't got anything because this particular tier 1 hunting weapon just isn't giving me the goods, so to speak. Alright, I don't really need any more copper, but that's a big node, so I might grab some of it. And I might grab some more coal just because I don't know how much coal I've got. And like I said, you always need a little bit because you eventually will run out of torches, and I'm only on 12 torches now. But then we'll go back up. Could go over there to look what happens over there. Nothing, just more copper and a wall. Alright. Go back over to our descending ladder and continue with our descent for a little bit longer. Yeah, so torches provide light through walls in a way that the flashlight actually doesn't. Does have that advantage. And that's also a massive node of copper, so we'll grab some of that. If not all of it, probably all of it. Explore these tunnels a little bit, because why not? Oh, I did not even see him there, and I've got to get out of this hole because it's going to be hard to fight him in the hole. Okay, this is a different kind of ore node. It's a foreground decoration, like Terraria's foreground decorations. You get things that are just on the surface, like chests and, I don't know, skeletons and statues. Yeah, so in Starbound you can often find ore nodes like that. Quite common. Pretty sure you can find ore nodes like that in Terraria too, now that I think about it. Ah, I did it again. Alright, I have to be careful not to die here, because I keep falling into holes like an idiot. Some people say that the controls in Starbound are not great. There we go, I've got some raw steak. Proper hunting material, which took me long enough to get. Yeah, the controls aren't great. It might be better on a gamepad. I'm not sure if it's analog in any way, shape or form. It might be. But you can... Damn it. The controls do feel a little floaty, and that is a disadvantage a lot of the time. It can be problematic. You can fall into holes that you didn't want to fall into, as demonstrated by me falling into this hole. It does happen. It's annoying. It's part of the game. You kind of get used to it and deal with it. The controls in Terraria are much more responsive on keyboard and mouse than they are on Starbound. But look, it's not a bad... It's not horrible, it's just not great. On Terraria, I would say they're great. Alright. So, as you can see, some of the plants have grown a stage. So like Minecraft, they have stages of growth rather than going all the way to fully grown. And when they do, they use up their water. So the water underneath these plants is gone. This potato plant here hasn't grown at all yet. Alright, my niece wants to know if I'm streaming. I don't think you guys see that on the stream, do you? Because the Steam overlay is not part of the Starbound window? Yeah, you guys don't see that. Alright, just give me a sec. Just going to message them back and say that yes, I am streaming right now. I think they might want to play more Phasmophobia, which I also kind of want to do, so I might go and do later. So, would have been good to show you more of the game because I didn't even really travel very far left or right on the map. But yeah, the planets are circular, so you can go all the way around. You eventually come back to where you started. Okay, I'll do a little bit of a quick explore because I do need more stuff anyway. So there's more potatoes, more plant fibers. These colors you could use to make dyes and similar things later. So yeah, they have their uses. These wells, there's almost always something down the well. Let's go down the well. Oh. Alright, there's nothing down this well. There's normally something down the well, but sometimes there's something down the well. This one's just... oh dear. Yeah, so there is something down this well. There was just a blockage before you get to the bottom of the well. And now I have to get back out of this well. Well, 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 well. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much more time because playing Phasmophobia with my niece is a lot of fun. Now, I'm not making videos out of those for general consumption. It's family stuff. They're not bad. There's sort of nothing, but, you know, just in case something happens. I mean, I could edit the videos to remove anything that could, you know, reveal private information or whatever. I'm just not that keen on it because it is my family and they didn't sign up for the whole YouTube thing. I mean, I say that, but having said that, my niece Charlotte, I just said her name, which defeats the bloody purpose. My niece has her own YouTube channel. I don't think she uses it anymore. She's more of a TikToker these days. But anyway. But yeah, so I don't do that stuff for public consumption. That is more private gaming with the fam. But we'll see. Maybe at some point in the future, if they're happy for me to upload it to general YouTube for public consumption, we'll do it. Otherwise, you'll just have to imagine what it's like for me to be playing Phasmophobia with my family or whatever games we end up playing. But I am going to go off to do that now because I enjoy it. It's fun. I also need a coffee. I could do with some breakfast. I haven't eaten anything yet today. So I hope everyone had a good New Year. It's actually the 2nd already in Australia, the morning of the 2nd. But I understand in America it is still New Year's Day. So if anyone watches this today, Happy New Year. Hope you had a good holidays. Hope you had a good Christmas, etc., etc. And the classic wrap-up, Quivz wrap-up, let's do that. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you'd like to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button. Makes it nice and easy to find the channel where everything is located in one easy-to-find spot. If you'd like to get notifications when I go live or when I upload a new video, hit that bell icon. And if you didn't like this video, hit that dislike button. That's what it's there for. But if you do hit the dislike button, I would appreciate if you could leave me a comment. Let me know what it was about the video you didn't like so that I can improve on it in the future. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.